Hello fitness family, it is Joel and you're in for a treat today on Mobility Monday. Today I'm going to show you how to unwind your external hip rotators. We're going to go through a full flow. Also too, I have a foot phobia, but I'm going to take my socks off for you today. It's exposure therapy. So you're going to need a lacrosse ball. That's the only thing you're going to need today for a flow. And essentially, you're not going to be able to do every single movement, most likely, unless you have sick hip mobility already. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with easier movements, and then when they get, we're gonna progressively make them harder and harder and go into deeper and deeper movements. And if you get stuck at one, don't worry, just watch and hang out. And if you do the flow on a regular basis, you will be able to make it all the way through. So tennis ball or lacrosse ball, first thing you're gonna do, take your right foot, loop it, throw it over your left knee. That's gonna put your external hip rotators into a little stretch already. You're gonna put the ball under your butt, and then you'll be rolling side to side. And if you look right here, you can see how the ball, I'm just rocking side to side on the ball, and I'm looking for tender spots, and I'm gonna break them up. We're gonna do this for about 2 minutes. One of our trainers today was asking what's too long for mobility. It's not too long for mobility. If you run out of scar tissue, you could stop rolling. I haven't met anyone who ran out of scar tissue. So yeah, and if you're not levitating and teleporting in like 0 G, you're gonna take soft tissue damage. So I'm looking for tender spots, I'm grinding through, I'm breathing slowly, and then I'm gonna switch, and I'm gonna tell my producer right now so I don't forget, we should add a timer onto the deck later. And then I'm gonna throw my other leg on top, and I'm gonna rock side to side, same thing. The ball is under those, the ball is under my hip muscles. And just so you know, on the side of my hip right here, I have what's called the greater trochanter of my femur. It's a bone, there's no muscle over it. Don't go up that high, focus on more of the underwear area. So if you picture me in a diaper, everywhere where my diaper is fair game. If I go below the diaper, that's where I'm gonna start getting into like a bursa sac, and it will not feel good. So my hip is breaking down, I can feel the scar tissue loosening. It's really important for us to do the scar tissue, to get rid of the scar tissue first, because it does not stretch. It's not elastic, it's not innervated, my brain can't turn it on. So if I'm gonna do this hip stretching flow, I want to break up the scar tissue in those muscles first before I start. So that got most of my external hip rotators. I'm going to go lateral to hit the same muscles. So for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down, and if you look around your pocket, there's a bone here you should be able to find. It's called the greater trochanter of your femur. Your IT band goes over there. Your IT band controls your knee when it's bending. So there's a bursa sac here, and it keeps the IT band from rubbing through and making the bone morph. It keeps the bursa sac or the greater trochanter of the femur is padded by the bursa sac, so the IT band, when it gets tight, it won't rub through it and then create friction on the greater trochanter, and then it would grow bone and tear it off. So instead, it inflames and we create pain, and it creates pain. But what I want you to do is find that with your hand right now, and then we're not putting the ball there. I want the ball to be higher, more on your butt. Again, if you had a diaper on, don't go below your diaper, that'd be weird. Then I'm gonna use, so I have the ball on my right hip and in the medius part of my butt. Then I'm gonna use my right arm as a pillow. My left leg's going to kind of support me here, and I'm going to push my body over and lean all of my weight over onto my right hip. And the ball is now pressing the muscles in my hip into the bone of my hip, and it's not going to give those tissues an option to get away from the ball. So now that I have it planted correctly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this leg as my base, and I'm going to go in small circles, and I'm using pain as data, and I'm looking for the most tender spot. Oh, I have a really tender spot right here and a tender lump. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pinky toe side of that foot, and I'm going to press it through the ground. And what that did was that turned on the muscles in my butt. And now I sunk into it. So when I inhale, I'm going to press that pinky toe through the floor. That's going to force my butt to squeeze and the muscles engage. And then I'm going to exhale and let them sink in. And right now, we're doing it on, and I'm in pain. I'm just not being a baby about it. But right now, we're working on the worst spot in the external hip rotators, or in your butt, whatever you want to call it. There's so many different spots to work on. We're just going to hit this one right now and take care of the worst. But in general, like, you could keep exploring. And on one of our Mobility Mondays, we're just going to do rolling, and we'll go further into like how to identify the spots and how to pick which ones to go after. But right now, you're just looking for the most painful one. Another tip is, while I'm pressing my pinky toe through the floor, that squeezes my butt already. But then I can squeeze my butt consciously even more, and you see how I created more distance between the floor, and then I relax and let it sink all the way in. So now we'll switch hips. And again, I want to find that bone. I don't want to put it on that bone. I want to be above it. This is my left leg. This is my right leg as the base. This is my right leg as the base. So I'm going to push off the right leg, use my left arm as a pillow, and now using this leg as the base, I'm going to push around, and I have a tender spot off the bat. So I found one. So now I'm going to use my pinky toe and I'm going to press it into the floor. And then I'm going to relax and let it sink all the way. And I'm going to drill this into you guys, but basically on the inhale phase, you should be engaging. That's when the muscles are squeezing. That's when I'm pressing into the floor. That's when I'm squeezing my butt. Exhale phase, I am melting and letting the ball sink in. All right, now that I've broken up some of the scar tissue in my hips, we're gonna start the flow. So first move is gonna be a pigeon. It's gonna be a lying pigeon. And what you can do is lay on your back, put your right ankle over your left knee, and then I want you to reach through and grab your left thigh from underneath and slowly pull it towards you. And as you pull it towards you, you're gonna feel a stretch or pulling in the outside of your hip. And that's what you want. So I'm gonna do that slowly. My other leg's not doing much at all. Sorry about my short shorts. My ex-wife hemmed all my shorts because she thinks my legs are pretty. So do I. All right, and then we're gonna switch legs. So now I'm gonna throw my left ankle over my right knee, and then I'm gonna reach under. I'm gonna grab that thigh, and I'm gonna start pulling it towards me. And if you've been doing mobility with us for a while, you should have already noticed that your hips from left and right are completely different. Your hands, your shoulders, your feet, use them for different reasons, and yeah, so they take different damage. And you really have to get to know like your right hand, your left hand, your right hip, your left hip. You can't make assumptions about one because of the other one. All right, so now I softened up my external hip rotator. So now we're gonna go into the next one, which is a pigeon. So for the pigeon, we just did the left leg, so now I'll do the right leg. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into like a tabletop position, and then I'm gonna throw my right shin up, try to get it in line with my hands, and I'm gonna scoot this leg back. And you can stay up like this. You can come down on your elbows. You also want to look at the space between this hip and that heel. The closer they get together, the more this hip is going to pull. So if you can use your hands as a pillow. And you can come down and relax slowly. And what I want to do is when I exhale, I want to let my body get really heavy. And I want to let gravity pull me into the earth. And at the same time, I'm feeling my hip pull. Also, too, you'll notice my foot came down a little bit. It was from tension. And I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to keep relaxing because we're doing passive stretching. So for passive stretching, I'm getting into a position and then I'm totally disassociating. Like I'm not doing anything besides melting. All right, so that's pretty good. So now we're gonna switch to the other side. So I bring that leg around and then I bring that leg back. If I don't have that mobility, we just go back to the tabletop, then bring your left leg in front, scoot your right leg back. Again, we can hang out up here if we need to, with straight arms. I'm getting a big pull back here like this. I can drop my back foot too. And then we can work into going down on the forearms or laying on the floor. And again, I just want to melt as much as possible. I'll be totally honest. I have the mobility to be here, but it feels pretty uncomfortable. I'm going to come up here because I'm going to have an easier time relaxing. And if I have an easier time relaxing, I'm going to change the length of my tissue more, which is what stretching is. So that would be a good way to be successful. And it's going to get progressively weirder and weirder after this. All right, cool. So now that we did that one, we're going to go into a move called fire log. So we just did our left leg. So I'm going to start on my right leg. So what you want to do is you'll sit like, they used to call this Indian style, and I don't know if it means India or like Native American style. It's really like pre-furniture style. Everybody sits like this, like human style. But this is using my external hip rotation. A lot of adults look like this when they sit like this. Crisscross applesauce is what people say too, which is cute. But yeah, so what I want you to do, because we want to stretch the right leg first, I want you to put the right leg on top of the left knee. And this is called a fire log, because you're like stacking the fire logs. And once you have this, then you can start putting your hands forward. And the more you come forward, the more it's going to start to pull in your hips. And then I don't have enough room to get my head down right now. Like my hip's not open enough. So what I can do is I can stack my fists, make like a Jolie fist tower, and put it on my forehead. And now that's supporting my head, and I'm going to take in a breath. And I'm melting. And I'm going to go again. And I'm melting. And I go one more time. And I'm melting.
And I actually felt my hip relax a good amount. So what I can do is I can flatten out one hand. And then if that feels okay, I can flatten out the other one. And if that feels okay, now I'm on the ground.
We're gonna switch legs. So this was the top log, the right one. Now left one's gonna be the top log. And keep in mind, the top one is getting it's getting a deeper stretch. So I want you to walk forward. My left leg is my dominant leg, so my left hip is tighter. So it's actually more difficult for me to do all of these movements on my left leg. It's less comfortable for me. It's less impressive for you. Yeah. So I need to work on my left leg and my left foot more. So I'm stacking the fists so I can have my head supported and I'll totally relax. If you have a yoga block with you and you don't want to use your hands, you could use a yoga block to support your head. A pillow's too smushy. It should be something not very smushy. So we're going to do this slow, deep breathing. And when I exhale, I'm letting my body get pulled to the earth. And I want you to think about if your exhale is longer, then you're stretching more. So don't do this. That's just weird, and that's also gonna induce stress, which is not what we want to do during this time and moment. All right, cool. So if your fire log looked all right, we're gonna move forward into a shoelace. So what I'm gonna do here, and I'm gonna have to adjust my shorts a little bit for this shoelace. I'm gonna have you warm up your lower back and your hip for this part. So let's take your right leg. Let's hug it. Hug it as much as you can, like you love it. I'm trying to pull it into my chest. I can also pull it towards my opposite shoulder. You might get cramping in your hip flexors. That's okay. You'll be all right. All right, let's drop that foot for a second. And then I want you to take your elbow and bring it across. So my left elbow is coming across my right knee. And then my right hand is going to start walking back behind me. And I'm going to look behind me. And what's happening is I'm stretching my lower back as I'm squeezing muscles in my upper back, and I'm prepping my hip for the next action. Also, if it takes you a while, like I'm twisting my body, so it's gonna look weird and be hard for you to twist your body in the same way, just the proprioception, like judging where your limbs and everything are. If that happens, just pause the video, get into the position, and then resume it. All right, I'm gonna switch sides now. So I'm going to hug my left leg like I love it. I'm gonna breathe slowly. And again, I'm stretching my external hip rotators. You can see too, some of my hamstrings are stretching in this position even though my knee is bent. And then I'm gonna drop that leg. This is my left leg. My right elbow is gonna go across. And then I'm gonna walk my right hand or my left hand back and look behind me to that direction as well. And this is creating a big stretch in my lower back. I just burped, I'm sorry. Disculpa me. Bruh. Okay. So now, here's the final one for today. If you can pull this one off, we wanna see if you can get real weird. So this one's called shoelace. So I just did my left leg, so we're going back to the right leg. So for the shoelace, and I gotta adjust my shorts. Gotta make room. I'm gonna point my knee directly forward, and then I'm grabbing my other foot, and I'm gonna stack it over top of my other knee. It's called a shoelace because of the way it looks. If you're male, you might have to reorganize your genitals at this point. But otherwise, you wanna just walk forward. And again, you can do that thing with your fists where you use them to support you. And as I drop down, because my right leg is on top,
it's getting the bigger pull. So that's opening up my right hip big time. And at the end, I'll show you a little bit of hip mobility. I used to be into kickboxing, a little bit of Muay Thai, liked kicking heads. So I kept my right hip pretty open for kicking heads. My left one's not as good. Oh, but I'll wreck your liver with it. Okay, so I'm gonna come out of it slowly, untangle this leg, untangle that one. Right goes underneath now, left goes over top. Adjust your clothes if you need to be comfortable. Basically, the uncomfortable part should be in your hip. In general, when we're doing stretches, it's supposed to be uncomfortable in one part of your body. What I would like is that it's only uncomfortable there. That we eliminate other factors and distractions. So I'm gonna see if I can get my chin on it. I can get my chin on it easy, so I'm gonna go fists. And again, because this is my left leg and it's my dominant leg and it's tighter and it's on top, it's getting a bigger pull, so this is less comfortable for me. But we'll be all right. So once I finish that, we can just see what you got. So with my right leg, I can pull it over my shoulder and behind my head pretty easily. With my left leg, we'll see what we got. Over the shoulder, not a problem. Over the head, actually not too bad. And I couldn't do that this morning. It was just because I went through this flow. So if you like these flows, just let me know what you like. I'll give it to you. That's what I do. So yeah, but if you like the flows, we'll do more. Maybe we could do some ankles. I'm like way older than I look. I'm just not as dusty as I should be. But like one of the like dad tests or like easy tests is like, can you get up like this? And we can work on that too. That's from like ankle and hip mobility. But we'll get it done. So thank you. See you again next Monday. Share it with your friends who have tight hips. If you have a friend with a small butt, hook them up. Send them the video. We need to end small butts. I'm going to do a campaign about it. And goodbye.